Hello, hello. Welcome
Hey,
back to our channel. Just to
yes.
get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. Dun, 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 dun.
Shy.
Shy. That's right. We're back. We're back.
Yes.
So today we wanted to talk
Welcome.
about, the DNC was just here and they're
Woof.
finally gone.
Yeah, the smell is starting to leave the city. They left so much garbage.
Oh my God. The
Refuge.
DNC Antics. Real talk. Of course, ChiTown. That's what we're talking about. ChiTown.
We get a little
So,
bit of protests.
so the DNC. Whew, I don't know what to say about that, but let's take a look at Michelle. Let's see what Michelle had to say at the DNC.
Yes.
Yes, the Obamas were in town.
Wow. I wonder if they visited their old house.
Probably. Okay, let's see. Let's start about right here with Michelle.
Yes.
But
Love.
as we embrace this renewed sense of hope, let us not forget the despair we have felt. Let us not forget what we are up against. Yes, Kamala and Tim are doing great now. We're loving it. They're packing arenas across the country. Folks are energized. We are feeling good.
Aren't they?
Yeah, you guys are feeling good.
Look very excited.
Remember, there are still so many people who are desperate for a different outcome.
Oh,
No, they're desperate.
Who are
for
ready
food
to
and
question
housing,
and
you know?
criticize every move Kamala makes, who are eager to spread those lies, who don't want to vote for a woman, who will continue to prioritize building their wealth over ensuring that everyone has enough.
oh,
Really?
enough.
Now, when you say that, she said to make sure that everybody has enough?
Everyone.
Oh, okay,
That
Michelle.
encompasses everybody.
So that means that they should be doing something for Black Americans.
So no matter
too.
how good we feel tonight or tomorrow or the next day,
That's 3 days.
this is going to be an uphill battle.
Mhm.
So folks, we cannot be our own worst enemies. No. See, because the minute something goes wrong, the minute a lie takes hold, folks, we cannot start wringing our hands.
Wait a minute. What's the lie though?
Yeah,
what
who's been lying?
did she get with Willie Brown
Oh,
and then
become a DA under his tutelage,
uh-huh.
or should I say mentorship?
So what lies? We hear her laugh.
Yes, we heard
Like a
that
goofy.
laugh. That's a terrible nasally sound.
We played some video last time,
Yes, we did.
so we're kind of confused.
Very much.
We cannot get a Goldilocks complex about whether everything is just right.
But it has to be just right if you run the country, though, Michelle.
Yeah.
Come on, are you
We
serious?
just want a fair share.
Come on.
And we cannot indulge our anxieties about whether this country will elect someone like Kamala instead of doing everything we can to get someone like Kamala elected.
You keep saying that. I guess you're trying to convince us.
Kamala and Tim, they have lived amazing lives.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I am confident that they will lead with compassion,
Are you sure?
inclusion, and grace.
No,
But
she knows that's not true.
they are still only human.
Come on, you keep
They
saying
are not.
See, you keep saying they're not perfect. They're only
A
human.
lot of them.
Okay.
Expectations for failure, it sounds like.
You know, really?
Perfect. And like all of us, they will make mistakes. But luckily, y'all, this is not just on them. No, this is up to us, all of us, to be the solution that we seek.
We don't have the
Well,
power.
we don't have the power to do that.
Aren't we voting for them
yeah,
so they can do something for the people?
Yes,
especially
and-
Black people in city of Chicago, where you're at, or
um,
were.
Right.
It's up to all of us to be the antidote to the darkness and
Did y'all see that lady looking like she was
She
crying?
was crying. She was crying.
Oh my
Her eyes
God.
were extremely red unless she had a drink.
Oh, I forgot too. Where's Beyonce? They said
They kept telling us Beyonce she was on her way. They're like, "Ooh, we hear a song."
That's why they got all the people. They
Every,
probably Mexican. They
okay.
like, boy,
Everybody with long blonde hair, they turned around like, "Is that Beyonce?"
y'all foul. They knew that girl
Yeah, she
was
wasn't
coming.
covered.
Okay, continue.
division. Look, I don't care how you identify politically, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or none of the above. This is our time to
This that's all that line.
Right.
stand up for what we know in our hearts is right. To stand up, not just for our basic freedoms, but for decency and humanity,
Decency
for
and humanity.
basic
Is that a
respect,
policy?
dignity, and empty for the
Empathy.
values at the very foundation.
She can't have empathy, all that laughing, especially with the guy who she locked up. I forgot
Oh, the
his
innocent
name.
man,
Yes.
Jamal. She just laughed when she found out.
So don't play like your girl got empathy now. Come on, Michelle.
Of this democracy. It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain. Do something.
And pretend.
Yes.
So
Right.
if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad post,
Pay your influencers.
and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired,
That's
if we
what they
start
call
feeling
doing
that
something.
dread
Paying
creeping back in, we got
all
to
that
pick
money you
ourselves
paying.
up, throw
That's
water
where
on.
All of that
campaign
money that you
donations are
paying
going.
them to influence us, you could be putting in the people's pockets, and specifically Black Americans.
Community
I
centers.
mean, this is ridiculous.
Schools.
On
Wow.
our face, and what? We only have 2.5 months, y'all, to get this done.
Yes.
Only 11 weeks to make sure every single person we know is registered and has a voting plan.
And if we hold her responsible, that's our doing something.
You know what I want to say though is they knew 4 years ago that they were going to have another election. Don't you think they would have had somebody else lined up?
You would think.
They picked the person.
I mean, what did they think? Biden's age was going to reverse?
You know,
like every president you see, they look older. Every president looks older.
They get older from lying so much. And
yes.
How do you just pick somebody for everyone?
Wow.
That we didn't choose at all.
We did not choose. I mean, and then the candidate that is, I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Well,
like
and they're talking about democracy. They picked somebody and put them in front of us.
You put this lady in here, and you know she is not up for the job of being the president of everybody. She's a goofy.
It's not a good look.
Oh, anyway.
So we cannot afford for anyone America to sit on their hands and wait to be called. Don't complain if no one from the campaign has specifically reached out to you to ask you for your support. There is simply
no. I know who you talking about, or who I allegedly think you're talking about.
No time for that kind of foolishness.
To get people to vote. I myself have contributed to that this democratic process where you phone people at their residence to not just get them to vote for somebody specifically, but to just get out and vote. So there you are, and they do call people at home.
Yes,
to do that.
And I thought you were supposed to be voting for policies. Have you heard any policies yet?
I've heard a lot of what did you say? Joy?
No.
Know what you need to do. So
she looks frightened.
Nope.
Consider this to be your official ask. Michelle Obama is asking you. No, I'm telling y'all to do something. because
I'll read a policy. Is that doing something?
Look at this. Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't. I cannot.
I like how they pulled out Kamala Harris's 20-point plan for when she gets in the office. Wait a minute, isn't she in office now?
She is. Everything that she's got. She's not running on really anything, but she could be whatever everybody is talking about. She could be doing right now.
Right now,
do we realize that she is still in office?
Did Biden get out of bed, or is he still in bed? Or did he go back to bed?
He's probably in bed.
He's just in his bedroom now, isn't he?
He's probably got ice cream right next.
Does he know he's in his bedroom?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, ice cream. No ceasefire.
Yeah. But you know, something else happened at the DNC, and I want to see if I can get that. I'll mute for a second. Still not the last election, but this is the most important election. Look what you had time to do. Planned Parenthood Mobile Clinic offers free abortions, vasectomies near DNC in Chicago. So let's read a little bit. A Planned Parenthood mobile clinic located near the Democratic National Convention in Chicago advised free medication abortions, vasectomies, and emergency contraception.
Oh, emergency rubbers.
The first 2 days of the DNC in an effort to provide care, no matter where.
Is that emergency Trojans?
Why would you?
What's emergency contraception?
Wow.
That must be like the pill or something.
So they were giving out abortions outside of the DNC. Well, I'm sorry, near the DNC.
That's disgusting.
Now, whose babies do you think they trying to promote to
exterminate?
Which population you think? Because I bet you it's not the people that's coming in right now, the migrants.
No.
Yeah, I bet you didn't. They didn't have them lined up. Yes. So who do you think they're trying to get rid of?
Well, we saw the other day, there was a lot of dark-skinned individuals coming in and out, probably to get them emergency rubbers.
So this is foul.
If they did they actually perform abortions and vasectomies in that mobile clinic?
Yeah, I mean they showed a few people coming out, but this is real foul because we already know whose babies they want to be aborted. And how I know that, let me see if I can share this other one.
I mean, because I seen dentists, mobile barbers, but it's most likely something you don't want to remove. Unless, extenuating circumstances. I just don't see. Vasectomy is not an emergency.
Yeah, let's go to this one. Let me see. Hopefully I can share this too. Okay, this is a article. Let's see. Okay, we are celebrating week 2 of Black History Month by sharing the story of our second historical figure, Fannie Lou Hamer, a powerful leader in the civil and voting movements whose story is a stark reminder of the racist history of reproductive medicine. In 1961, Hamer underwent surgery for removal of a fibroid and instead was given a hysterectomy without her knowledge or consent.
Man.
Hamer found that, what does that say?
3 out of every 5 of
all black
women
from her community, Sunflower County, Mississippi. Do you know that's where my family is from? Do you know if that had happened to me, I wouldn't even be here.
You just do that without telling them.
Sunflower County, Mississippi, where my people are from. My mother.
Oh my goodness.
That could have been me. That could have been.
It wouldn't have been you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even be here.
It would have never been you.
So Sunflower County, Mississippi underwent unwanted sterilization.
That's what they did back then.
Yes.
There's a whole book called Medical Apartheid where they experimented. The founder of gynecology experimented on women slaves.
Yes.
Coming up, they have a painting of a woman just being experimented on. They just did what they wanted because they could.
Yes.
Nobody could say nothing. It's disgusting.
It's very disgusting. So the practice of unwanted sterilization via complete hysterectomy by medical professionals on unknowing Black patients was so common that it was coined by Fanny as the Mississippi appendectomy.
Wow.
That's deep. During the course of her activist career, Hamer was threatened, arrested, beaten, and shot at. She suffered permanent kidney damage from the attacks.
My goodness.
She went on to co-found the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, MFDP, which challenged the local Democratic Party's efforts to block Black participation.
That's interesting that the Democrats tried to block Black participation. Let me just.
That is so deep.
It is
so deep.
It's
it makes
amazing.
it really makes you wonder, like, what is really going on here. Okay,
I did a little bit of research. I don't know if you had a point. I just want to throw this out right here. I went to go to share. Yes, that.
Okay, let's go to share. Okay, let me get here. Okay, share the screen. Okay, tell me which one. This one?
No. Next one up. Yes.
All right, let's share this one.
This is I found interesting. The first election was in 1789, and George Washington won that election. And look right there, there was no formal parties.
Wow.
If you scroll down,
excuse me,
to the next set, he won again, but he was a Federalist.
Oh, yeah.
He ran against a what?
A Democratic Republican.
You mean the Democrats and the Republicans were the same party? Oh, they were forever joined weren't
together.
They?
Yes.
Well, so let's go on. That was in 1792 and 1796. You had the Federalists who won. That's that's like one of the only times somebody outside of this type of party that was anti-Federalist. Check here, there was independent Federalists.
Yes.
You go on further, you just skip ahead. You know, Google's your friend. Democratic Republicans.
Democratic Republicans. You see the game? You see the
Democratic Republicans for a little while. And then they switched.
Wow. I wonder why.
I wonder why that happened. It was still Democratic Republican, but then it was independent.
Independent
it was around 1820. There was some stuff was going on, I guess. Then they came Democratic and National Republican. Democrat, National, anti-Masonic choir, nullifiers, the Whigs, anti-Jackson, Liberty. Now, oh wait, Democratic. I don't even see Republican. Democrat. Republicans are back.
Yeah,
in 1856. Wow, American Know Nothing Party. I like that. That's
right.
That's interesting. Ooh, Southern Democratic. Those guys sound racist.
Yeah, they do.
You know, because we often hear about. We can stop sharing. I just wanted everybody to check that out. But it's just we often hear about the vitriol these parties have against each other when they were once joined together at the hip.
Isn't it something?
That's amazing. It's just something to take a look at. And then we hear, you know, on the Civil War that the Democrats didn't. You know, we saw right here the article you displayed about them. Trying to stop Black participation, but then because Black people were steady voting Republican, but they were also voting in with the other parties. And then something happened, and then they had the Dixiecrats, who also were against the Black participation. But you know what happened with the Dixiecrats?
What happened?
Some of them stayed,
and some of them,
most of them went to the Republican Party,
they did.
where they can freely wave their Confederate flags with no care in the world, because that's accepted over there, I think. Confederate flags. Just interesting. I just thought that'd be interesting to take a look at.
And what's interesting too is their theme at the DNC, this joy, this whole notion of joy.
Yes.
Kamala's bringing joy. And I don't understand how you can have joy.
Aren't people getting blown up in other countries right now?
Yes, you can't have joy when you got people who are homeless. You can't have joy when you have people having a hard time paying for groceries, food, rent, mortgage,
transportation.
You can't have joy when you got people who've been trying to buy a home and now they really can't afford a home
or a business.
You can't have joy either when you purposely allowed migrants to invade the Black communities,
that's what
and
they've
give
done.
them what, thousands and thousands of dollars in cash.
It seems tens of thousands.
Food stamps, Social Security, housing.
In our city, taking away the COVID money that was distributed for everyone.
Rent for 2+ years or more. Driver's licenses, job fairs. That's just for them, mind you. They're just for them.
A particular group.
And the fact that they have them, we don't know what they have been. I mean, we just got out of a pandemic. How is it that nobody has checked them, vaccinated them?
Yeah, they don't get a medical checkup at the border.
No checkup, no nothing. So they are unchecked, unvaccinated.
WHO said there's another pandemic coming.
Yes. So all of this, are you talking about joy? And you never, ever will really have joy until you pay this debt of reparations that we have been telling you forever.
We keep sending them the invoice
for the descendants of slavery.
And they never respond.
Freedmen. Yeah, they never respond to that.
Did they mention it during the DNC?
No, they did not.
I think I heard Black a few times, but I didn't hear anything about helping out the economic struggle that's happening. I heard them talk about economic struggles and stuff like that, but they didn't say they was going to do anything.
No, they did not.
Oh, the $25,000 for a home loan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we already talked about how that is for them.
Oh, yeah, that's not even.
Did you hear what Chris Cuomo said?
No. I thought he was governor and he had to hide down because he got in trouble for assault.
That's not the right Cuomo. Let me see if I can find Chris so he can give us the rundown of what really happened. He had the inside of what was going on at the DNC. Just give me 1 second. I'm still trying to find it. Yeah, but he was there front and center. I think it's down here. I got to go through some tabs. It's not that one. So yeah, it's more of a I may have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look it up because I don't see it.
Okay, well I'll just look it up because I just had it queued up because for some reason things disappear.
You know, that's what happens when you're live and stuff impedes your progress. As you do that, I'll just want to go into thank everybody for watching. I just wanted everybody to know that there's other organizations that do stuff to the detriment of the Black population.
Yes, they do.
I've heard I haven't heard of this before. LULAC.
Oh yeah,
you brought attention to that.
Yes, because I heard it from sister. To this real quick. I'm sorry, we'll be back. No, but you go ahead.
Oh, it was just quickly. LULAC, I think it was 1929. It was one of the oldest Hispanic organizations. Hispanic. Mm-hmm. It's the oldest Hispanic organizations. Originally, when they started, they were only for immigrant Mexicans.
Yes. Strictly for
if you were something else, you had to find something else. But now it's all Latinos and Hispanics.
They've saw the
I thought numbers. That was nice of them to encompass another large group.
Yeah. But
do you know what they said about Black people?
Yeah.
They said Negroes have their own fight.
Yeah.
They can fight their own battles.
We're the only ones that include everybody else.
Yeah, black and brown, just like black and blue. It seemed to go together, but not really.
Not really. And all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Nope.
We're finding that out the hard way. I'm just thinking back on some of the radio programs I would listen to, and every time we would talk about, or somebody would bring up something about, helping our Black people.
Yes.
It would always be this change in the atmosphere, like, well, it's got to be for everybody. Well, it's got to be. And then you come to find out that some of these people, I'm going back and looking, and I'm seeing that they are from Nigeria.
Yes, Caribbean.
So
someplace not grown and raised here. Not somebody who hasn't been sufficiently under the struggle
of being in America. Like the descendants of slavery in America have a different struggle from all these other groups.
Yes.
So that's what I think is the miscommunication. Like
these outside groups get benefits. when they get here.
Yes, and they'll be the first ones to call us lazy. When now we're seeing what we're seeing with the migrants. This is what has been happening with immigrants coming over here before now. They may not be getting as much money as these people are, but they have been getting a leg up all this time. Yes. And they have the audacity to later on get all into themselves and call us lazy. Only people that we remember hearing that from is from white people. That was like their dig on us because it was this, that's one of their racist tropes that they would say. We're so lazy. We're, what do they call us? The welfare queens. Really, who's on welfare more than
white women than anybody across the country. There's more white people in general on welfare than anybody else.
So that's just real interesting that I'm finding out that all skin folk, just not kin folk.
Yeah, there's a lot of Oreos
and unfortunately coconuts, the one we're talking about right now, yes, she's not.
She's posing.
So let me get back to Chris so he can tell us what's really going on at the DNC.
What's happening?
Yeah.
A big theme here at the DNC is that they're going to go after corporate gouging, and they're going to go after corporations, whether it's in taxes, largesse, loopholes. The RNC, we heard the same thing. They're going after the elites, the two sets of rules. Let me reveal a reality to you that has to be spoken to here, okay? These are the soldiers. These are the men and the women that go back to their constituencies and their communities, and they fight. They take time from their jobs. They take time from their families. Republicans and Democrats alike, that's what they do. They need to charge these people up. They need to be able to get them on board. But there's another reality that is literally looking down on them. Greg, look at the ring of sweets, okay? This is not unique to Democrats. There is a game of money. When people talk about uniparty, we are strangled by the money reality in our politics. Those suites start at 500 grand. You think there's like a teacher group up in there? You think it's like the Cub Scouts of Columbia County, South Carolina, that's up in those boxes? Some of them are lobbies and good things. The media boxes, you think they're free? Why do you think I'm on the floor? News Nation is not a broke company. Nexstar is a massive organization. We are corporate media. We don't have one of those boxes because that's the game. You pay to play. Those boxes are filled with the same people that they say they're going to regulate. They are literally looking down on the faithful and being told, we're going to break down on them. We're going to make them pay their share. They paid $500, $700, $1 million, $1.5 million to have those seats. They get hotel suites that are probably gifted to the party. And the same thing is true with the Republican side. And they're going to take them down. They're going to change how it is. They are looking down from on high at the people who make the difference in their communities. And that is the reality of politics. And I had my producer walk around and show you those suites. Now, they're not all the same. They're not all the same. But the reality is, in 2000, they spent $300 million on presidential campaigns. 24 years later, you know what they're expected to spend? $10 billion. Do you know how much money Harris has raised in the last couple of weeks? Hundreds of millions. And that's success. A lot of it's small donor. A lot of it isn't. The most dangerous money in politics is now legal money because of Citizens United. You've got to know this. The idea that they can fight against it is almost laughable. It's almost laughable. So look and listen when you are told these things.
$500,000 club level suite, $1 million to $1.5 million.
Because I don't care what they promise you. Not here tonight. Not at the RNC. Not that Trump knows them. Not that they don't own them. He did one of the biggest fundraisers I've ever heard of in my life out where I live. Millions of dollars a plate. That's the reality of politics.
That's deep.
Wow.
That's deep.
The best election money can buy. It was funny. There was somebody else speaking of Bernie Sanders, how he's talking about they're going after the billionaires and the oligarchs. And it said right when he got off stage, a billionaire followed him up and said, "What's the matter with money?"
Right. Ooh, it's something. Truly, truly something. But
what are you gonna do? I'm just glad they're gone. It smells a little bit better. We didn't hear any grinder issues this time. I found out a few things.
Okay, well let's get you in here.
Well,
and see what you're doing.
I found it interesting. We want to share about police stops.
Oh yeah,
I had
let's get into this.
A friend,
here it is. Show me where that is.
This about police stops.
I just saw it too.
It was the first one up here, I think.
Okay. Let's go down a little bit. Okay. Let's see where it is. It's probably way there. It is. This one?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm gonna try that one. It's so much to cover.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that say from the Sun-Times?
Chicago Sun-Times, and this is last year.
So it says traffic stops of Black Illinois drivers at 20-year high despite law Obama champion.
Yes.
So
Obama.
So
this is then senator.
Yeah.
Look how young he looks.
Law then Senator Barack Obama sponsored aimed to collect law enforcement data and reduce racial disparities in police traffic stops, but has fallen short.
Yeah,
WBZ investigative project. Okay.
That's what's interesting.
Just look at that data. You want to look at this data?
Yeah, I mean the data is what's important. So that he sponsored the bill.
Mm-hmm.
The data I got is quite interesting. It's talking about by the numbers. We got to share something else.
Okay, you want me to share?
This was interesting.
You want me to get out of this?
Yes.
Share? Okay, let's get out of this. Let's stop sharing.
Just wanted to know that he sponsored that bill.
Mm-hmm.
That was very important. Now we're going to look.
Okay, let's look in this one.
The WEBZ, yes.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, so let's share that one. Working together. New data shows an increase in police traffic stops across Illinois in 2023. At least 4 out of every 5 police agencies in the state reported higher rates of stopping Black and Latino drivers compared to white drivers. Okay, so let's look at some of the stats.
Oh, there's another one.
Okay.
I'm going to show you where I'm getting my information. I got as of August 1st, 2024.
All right.
Since that law went into effect, there's been over 40 million stops.
Now that's deep.
And that's in Illinois. 40 million.
Okay, let's share this one. The data shows here.
I think that's it.
Okay, let's share that one. Okay, new data shows Chicago police conducting an additional 500,000 traffic stops in 2023.
This is more.
Wow.
These weren't reported.
Wow.
There was another article showing that these weren't reported. Look at right there. They stopped more than 500,000 people in 2023.
535,000 drivers during 2023.
Yes.
That number is about 5% increase from 2022 and reflects a massive growth stops since 2015 when CPD reported stopping about 85,000 drivers. That's deep. So
they're lying about their numbers, and then they say they stopped black people
at a
rate 3.7 times. Other stuff I got. Well, you can quit sharing. I go through some of the stuff that so annually they stopped over 200,000 people. Black people were increased from 44% of always being stopped to 51%. More than that in 20 years. In 2004, it was 107,000 blacks stopped. In 2004, 2023, it was 273,000 black people were stopped. That's a huge jump. So I went through some more stats. In 2019, they had the most stopped. 2019, in 2019, 368,000 black people were stopped.
Now, why is that?
2019, that's interesting. But the least was 2014 with only 40,000. So they kept 20,000 stops off the books. There's been 200,000 missing stops. And I just wanted to go through how many times they stopped us. And it's astronomical time. In the national data, in the Illinois, the Illinois, there's 997 police agencies in Illinois. That's almost 1,000 cop departments, police departments. That's a lot of police.
That is.
158 didn't provide any data. Either they are too small or they don't care. 95% had more black stops
See?
Than anybody else.
You see?
90%.
These are the things we talk about that happens in Chicago. Like, this is real talk.
The CPD had to settle $4.98 million settlement for a traffic stop for 2015. And then it got me to thinking that settlement. All those traffic stops. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering how many were ticketed and how many were. Let's say 50% of them were ticketed. What's a ticket? About $50 to $100?
$100.
Or more than that.
Yeah. So
50% of 200,000 a year is 100,000 times $100. 100,000 times 100. That's a lot of money. Where's all that going?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's all that going?
County. That's where it's going. Crook County.
The rabbit hole.
I mean, it's just so much corruption. I mean, they nickel and dime you for, remember the bag tax? Like, we paying for bags.
7 cents.
Are you kidding me?
7 cents for a plastic bag.
Bags.
She tried to get us on sugar.
Tax, yeah.
And did anyway, undercover. They still taxing us more on groceries, undercover.
I mean, it is deep. Living in Chicago, it's always something. Always something. So we just, just talking and venting a little bit. I got a few clips of some of these incidents of robberies. Let's see.
Oh, crime.
Let's check some of these. Talk about crime? Let's show some of these thefts. Let's see if we got to look at this. I mean, really?
Seen over the past really few weeks.
Thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Dawn.
Well, they get released. I'm sorry.
Dawn Hasbro.
And I'm Anthony Ponce. 2 days in a row, groups of Venezuelan migrants were charged with burglaries in DuPage County. Casey Cronus is live in Oak Brook tonight. Casey.
There's plenty of them.
Hey, Anthony and Dawn, in both cases, the thieves were using devices to try and trick the store's security systems. Now, officials are investigating whether the incidents are connected. In a crowded Oak Brook shopping center, prosecutors say 2 men from Venezuela were caught stealing $750 in clothing from Macy's.
Wow.
When police tried to stop them, one of the men refused, trying to get away before he was brought to the ground and handcuffed.
They went in with a foil-lined bag, which again is designed to defeat the theft detection system that is installed at the store.
One day earlier, on Black Friday, 3 migrants, also from Venezuela, who've been living in Waukegan, allegedly took $500 worth of merchandise from Kohl's in Elmhurst. In that case, they were carrying a large magnet to thwart the store's anti-theft devices. All 5 people were arrested and charged, but DuPage County State's Attorney Robert Berlin says under the Safety Act, all but one of those offenders has been released.
Judges have very limited discretion in detaining those defendants.
He tells us there have already been 3 cases where migrants have failed to appear in court.
And the difficult.
That's why Hector Gonzalez, Ramirez, they have all these 3, 4, 5 different names, and you see at the bottom. This is they have this retail theft, but they get released under the Illinois Safety Act.
Yeah, and
so
if
that's
it's not
what's going on.
If it's not a violent crime, you get to walk out back on the street.
No, but you can't even say that. You cannot even say that. You said that if it's not a violent crime. Now hold on, let's talk about that, because remember those first ones you heard about? I can't remember what state it was in.
Yes,
but they chopped up the people and put them in the bags.
New
York.
They dispersed pieces of the body around Manhattan Island,
all over Manhattan, and they got arrested and released
because
so you can't say it's not.
They didn't know they killed them or not or something. But you're not supposed to move body parts around. I think somebody was arrested. I think it's something with the desecration of a body or something like that. But that's not a violent crime. But having pieces of a human body is not a violent crime. You just reminded me of the dude who was eating that leg that got hit by the train. I think out in California. Oh my goodness, he was gnawed on somebody's leg.
That is so.
Oh, it's terrible. These people are bad. Do you have that video of those dudes just raiding that convenience store, hopping it?
Next time I'm
you
gonna
know
find
what piranhas look like?
I know.
The piranhas look like when they eat something, they just, there's like a smoke and everything.
That's exactly
there wasn't no smoke, but
this
all
was
their Doritos and Tostitos and Lorna Doones and candy bars, and I think they were just stealing phone cases, man. Like just to have a phone case. You don't even know if that sucker's gonna fit. There's cigarette stuff. They were just grabbing some. You know, it was interesting. They had bags on their backs, but they were trying to hold everything with their arms. Yes. And I'm like, do you have pockets? I don't know what these people are thinking. But yes, it's a culture of thievery. I mean, it seems like it. I hate to say that. It's just, why are they stealing and begging? What are you doing? I'm glad you're looking for work in front of Home Depot. That's commendable right there. But don't have lunch there too. It's like, hey, I need your services. Can you put down that sandwich? No, I have to finish my sandwich.
But I wanted to check this out. So all this time, Michelle and Barack and everybody's saying, trust her and that, she's for the people, when really we know she's for immigrants. So let's get that clear. Let's make that very clear. So, but let's see what let me show you how these politicians they play a game with us.
Yes.
Look, now watch this. This is her when she was running for president with Biden. Well, not with Biden, but against Biden.
And I will say also that in this campaign, we've also heard, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Whoa. Wow.
So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously. We have to act swiftly. As Attorney General of California, I was very proud to put in place a requirement that all my special agents would wear body cameras and keep those cameras on.
She was opposed to cameras at first.
Thank
you. Yes, she was.
She was against it before she was for it. Wasn't that an old slogan?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we'll continue.
President Biden, you have been invoked. We are going to give you a chance to respond.
Well, that was it. So you see how she said all of that segregationist, but he's not a racist.
Yeah.
Okay, so this lady, you heard her debate. So let me stop sharing and let me share this other one. Let me get back over here. So that was her running against.
She said she didn't believe he was a racist.
She didn't believe he was
but if you're
racist.
Hanging around with racists, isn't it like birds of a feather flock together?
So let's see what she is. Fair use with Stephen Colbert.
I like Stephen.
Let's check this out. Let's see how it's only like 2 minutes.
Hey everybody, we're back with Senator Kamala Harris. The Washington Post has published what they believe to be the short list of vice presidential candidates to join Vice President Biden, the presumptive nominee. Your name is on that list. First question, would you like to join the ticket?
Watch this.
I'd be honored if asked, and I'm honored to be a part of the conversation. But honestly, let me just tell you something. I will do everything in my power, wherever I am, to help Joe Biden win. I believe this is the most important, and without, this is not rhetoric, I truly believe this is the most important election in our lifetime. And when we have Donald Trump sitting in the White House while his boy, Bill Barr, as the Attorney General, but really what he is the president's personal lawyer, is in the Supreme Court trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act in the middle of a pandemic, a public health crisis, and they're trying to get rid of an initiative, the Affordable Care Act, that brought healthcare to 30 million people.
Affordable haircut.
Justice is on the ballot in 2020, and saying goodbye to Donald Trump and go back to Trump Tower has to be an imperative of all of us when we're looking at what we need to do around addressing this public health crisis and embracing science.
All right, yeah. Let's get to the part.
Bedrock principles for you, and now you guys seem to be pals.
Yeah, let's hold on.
That transition happened. How do you go? His teeth were like chiclets all over the stage.
Yeah, here we go.
Because in those debates, you landed haymakers on Joe Biden. I mean, his teeth were like chiclets all over the stage. And now I believe you that you're fully supportive of him. How does that transition happen? How do you go from being such a passionate opponent on such bedrock principles for you? And now
says what she needs.
You guys seem to be pals.
This is clear indication of what they do as politicians. You see how everybody's in bed with each other. Like Republicans and Democrats, they don't not like each other.
No,
they're
cool.
The
best of friends. Didn't you say Michelle Obama and Bush are buddies?
Yeah, he passed her some candy one time.
Oh, he gave her a
piece of candy. Probably was butterscotch.
Was it wine candy?
Butterscotch. So, but.
It's one of them Werthers.
So this is the game they play. She went all in on Biden. And then as soon as it's around this time for her for somebody to be nominated, and if she would be chosen, Stephen Colbert's like, all of that going in on him. You mean to tell me that you okay? So let's listen.
It was a debate.
Debate.
Not everybody landed punches like you did, though.
It was a debate.
So you don't mean it?
It was a debate. That the whole reason, literally, it was a debate. It was called a debate.
I understand.
Tells me she was
debate.
Yeah, she's
there were journalists there covering the debate where there would be a debate of differences of opinion and issues.
Okay.
I am 1,000% supportive of Joe Biden, and I will again do everything I can to make sure he is elected.
I 100% believe you. I was just asking the transition after the debate, perhaps back to the handshake.
I mean,
phony. That's what that is. And Colbert's like, really, like you
jump ship from your own stances, really.
I mean,
quick.
You at some point really went in on him, Biden. That is, and. It's a debate. Goofy.
In all seriousness, I've known Joe a long time, and I care about him deeply. And
that was awesome. I'm sorry. I just had to get that in. Because I'm like, this is what phony looks like. That's what phony looks like. And that's why a lot of people don't like her. They don't like her because she's so. I'm sorry. It took me so long to get back. She's so phony. I mean, you see how phony that was? It's a debate. She was just talking about you stopped me from writing.
And he was like,
the reason why I got busted. In all about 2 years.
You didn't mean it then? You didn't mean the buses? Wait. No, of course you didn't mean it. She was in Canada.
She said it was a debate.
Close to another coast. She wasn't even over there.
So politicians lie. They all lie. I mean, you could see Obama when he was giving his speech. You could just look at his face. It was just hard for him not to hide that he was lying.
He looked like he was really... on his face was like hanging. Like you remember when Oprah first lost her weight and her skin was hanging off of her body. I can't stand Oprah, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait. This is say you're right about Oprah. Oprah, you know how when you young and you think that you forget things that happened and then it come back to you and you remember, like, I remember that when I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade.
Yes.
I remember my class in grammar school. I'm trying to remember if it was, I know we was like in 5th grade, I think. It was real small. Yes. And real quick, so we went to the Lyric Opera downtown.
Ooh, that's
and
nice.
You know, this is a public school, you know, and it's
yeah.
predominantly black in the, you know, the what they call the inner city, undeserved like projects.
You're taking advantage of the facilities being offered in the city.
So we get a chance to go down there. So we're like, wow, look at downtown, look at all the lights, look at all the people. There's Oprah.
What?
So we as kids like, oh my God, that's Oprah.
Yeah.
So we looking at Oprah and we're trying to get close to her, and of course, the teacher's trying to guide us around, but she, also tried to get to Oprah too.
Yeah.
And Oprah's like looking around, waving and talking to some of the people. And we as little kids, we like right next to her, like trying to get her attention. And do you know she ignored us? Wow. I will never, ever forget that.
Did she go to the white kids?
As small as, at that time, you just like, she just played us. That hurt because everybody loved Oprah. And as a kid, I remember that like yesterday. Like I remember how hurt I was.
So did she have her nappy, or did she have a perm in?
She was still
nappy.
It was still,
because she made that one change.
Healthy too, okay.
She was healthy.
I want to say Chucky, but she
wasn't on that new trend of Ozempic.
But we didn't care. We loved us some Oprah, but I was like,
Black woman on television.
I was done with her after that. Like as a kid,
I was just wondering if she still had the naps where she was on perm. Some sisters
she probably did
because she started off with the naps. If y'all don't know.
I just know Oprah played my class. She played us, but that's okay.
She had like the Grace Jones puff almost.
That's all right. You don't do you, girl. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. So I'm sorry. I had to,
That's all right. You said you was going to show.
That was. I just need to say that about Oprah because that really
thanks everybody. We just are glad you watched. Our show again. This is episode 2.
Yes, it is.
And we are thanking you for watching. This is, as always, this show is sponsored by you, the viewer, by your donations. And it's also sponsored by YouTube channels Relax with Miss Tish and A Little Bit of Rage. And check out Cafe Press, A Little Bit of Rage, the items for sale over there. And also, if you want to donate and help and support this channel, just go on and hit that Cash App, the $ just to get by shy. We're just to get by shy.
You just go by what you see on the screen is the Cash App. So it's just to get by shy. Now for the email, that's different. So just follow what you see going along the bottom of your screen. That's the Cash App.
Yeah, because as you can see, I'm quite mistaken with most important things. But whatever you do, support the channel.
Yes.
And thank you so much
for
listening again. Till next time, y'all.
Yes.